So I'm gonna tell y'all why I will never be a girls and why girls are dangerous to black women, black men, and the black community at large. Hey guys, this is Jacolia at Jacolia Gems. Thank you for once again coming back home, family. For those of you that happen to be new here, welcome. I definitely hope that you hear something today that will persuade you to stay if you have not already done so. Exactly what are you waiting for? Hit the subscribe button, like the video, comment down below, and share to your social media platforms. So, y'all, it's this new trend going around because black women are very trendy, very gullible, and I am understanding more and more how the black community is in the position that it's in, and we blame black men so much. Let's go biblical first. We're going to go back to Africa, all the way to the very, very beginning in the Arabian Desert, in East Africa, North Africa, and Egypt, the Sahel, modern Mauritania, Morocco, Bam. I'm talking about Adam. When we begin to look at the name Adam in the Hebrew, the root is Dam, and this is going to be Dalet Alf Mem. The Dalet represents the door, not Alf, I'm sorry, Dalet Ayin Mem. Dalet is it represents door. When you begin to look at Ayin, this literally means eye, the eye of God. So all that one eye symbolism, we're going to get into it. All of it is not about Ra. All of it is not about Horus, the eye of God. Unless you begin to, I'm not even going to go there, right? And then with the M, the Mem. Mem represents people, languages, and nations. It also represents the Messiah, the Mashiach. The word Dam in Hebrew literally means blood. So Adam, which means human, means blood. So the first man is Adam, right? And we see that when he was created, he performed a kara, a naming ceremony, where he began to give the names, the characteristic, the job duties, the job titles, the functions to the fowl of the air, the fish of the sea, as well as to the beast of the field. Therefore, when you begin to get into Genesis 3 and 1, when the beast of the field was more cunning, and this word cunning right here means that it had more survival instincts that was innate on the inside of it, and it could be either good or either bad. Adam knew this because he previously gave the animals their instruction. Now, I'm aware of the fact that there are some extra biblical texts that begin to say that Semaiah, which is the leader of the fallen, began to possess the serpent and spoke out of the serpent's mouth. I'm aware of all of that, okay? But we're going to stick to canon because everybody's not aware of that. So when you begin to look at the fact that Adam, Dam, human, knew this. He made the characteristics. Woo, woo, woo. But before Hava was ever born, because her name's not Eve, before Hava was ever born, there was no good, because Yahushua, or who the world likes to call Jesus, began to say, call no man good. No man is good other than Aloha Ahaya, that is in Shemayim, the Most High, who's in heaven. So we be walking around like, I want a good man, I want a good man, I want a good man. No man is good. The heart is evil and desperately wicked, which is why the man has to attach himself to wisdom. So if these men are walking around and they are not based in Torah, they are not based in Islam, they do not have their identity as an Israelite man, then he is not a husband seeking a wife. And as a woman, it is your job to discern what type of man is seeking after you. And because we have this fad of being a girl's girl, we lack accountability. when it comes to our choices. And we're not even going to go into, oh, somebody can love bomb you, somebody can mask. This is why you keep people in the friend zone. So once again, we are not doing things properly. So when you begin to look at the fact that Adam was not called good in creation, after the Most High gave the commandment for, and then there was light and it was called good. This is Tov. This is good, right? So then the book of Proverbs 18 and 22, and I don't have my Bible in front of me, so if I'm off one or two verses, apologies, begins to say, a man who finds a wife finds a woman is called a good thing. But Yahushua said that no man is good. And this is why it's very important to know what Hava's name actually is. It's not Eve. It's Hava. And it is rooted in Haya, which is the name of the Most High. I will be, and it also means he was. So this linguistically connects Hava to the Creator. And when a woman is born, and when a woman is whom she is, she begins to reflect wisdom or chokmah, which is the spirit of the Most High, according to the book of Isaiah, that we begin to see in the beginning, which is broken down in Proverbs 8. So if a woman does not possess the spirit of wisdom and the spirit of understanding, when a man is seeking you, he's not seeking a wife. We have to stop being so delusional and stop being such girls that we don't tell our friends, baby, you not a wife. Even with that ring on your finger, you happen to be married, but you're not a wife according to the standards of the Most High. He's not blessing that marriage. That marriage has absolutely nothing to do with him. There are satanic marriages every single day. Who were you when he found you? And that's going to be an indication of who you still are recognized as in the spirit realm. And if you happen to be married to, engaged to, shacking up with a man who you have seen his character and you decide to stay there, it is because you are with your equal. When you are a woman and you realize that you have stepped outside of the will of the Most High, when it comes to who you have chosen as a partner, whom you have decided to lay with and have kids with, you will choose to be alone until you get yourself together. And this is why I am not a girl's girl, because I am surrounded, not literally, because I really don't talk to people yet, literally and figuratively, by women who would rather be in long-term relationships than to be single. Then women who would rather enter into marriages with men who they know they don't really want to be with women who will keep on having babies with men who lie to them, who cheat on them, who burn them, who get other women pregnant, with women who know that their husband sodomizes women, with women who will admit that, oh, he just do a little cheating. Okay, if cheating ain't your deal breaker, I absolutely get it, because it's not always a deal breaker. Not for everybody. I'll just say that I've never gotten to the point where somebody could cheat on me and I remain with them. The one time I attempted to with my son's father, he knew what was up. He knew what was up. We were engaged. So I attempted to handle him in a different way in my mind. Oh, baby, this is over. And I know he saw the lights going off in my head. I be making stuff very, 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 very obvious. Anyone else that has given me the inclination or I come across the proof, I leave. I'm a leaver. I am not long suffering in that area. I look better than you. Any woman that you have been with, a lot of them have wanted to be with me too. A lot of women that you have been with have only given you some because I'm the main attraction. I never allow a man to begin to believe that I'm desperate to the point that I have to risk my health, because that's literally what it is. That's attempted murder. These men be putting their rods of authority in other women, but y'all such girls that y'all champion it. And if a friend speak up, then she a hater. If your mama try to warn you, she don't know nothing because she ain't got no man. No. And this is why I will never be a girls. And why after I have certain interactions with some women in my life, I know for a fact they go and call somebody, go and text somebody, go and send a screenshot. And I don't give 3/4 of a rat's behind. I filter myself through logic and through truth. Which is why, as someone that's not a girl, I have had women tell me, oh, you think you a man? No, I really don't. I hate the fact that I got back into cursing after being in that toxic relationship with my ex, because I hadn't cursed in a really long time. And now I just keep on cussing because I allowed myself to be submitted and to surrender to the demonic entities that was on his life, because I was spiritually susceptible in between being waking up to my Israelite identity and attempting to find a way to leave my mother and my father church while telling them what the truth is. And so I'm spiritually uncovered, and I'm susceptible to this man who has all of this biblical knowledge, and I'm sick in my body. So instead of following what it is that I knew, which is I don't want him, I allowed myself. See, the girl would just have me feeling sorry for myself and everything that I experienced. And the girls would be black and white thinking, oh, I hate him and he's this and he's that. No. This man poured into me. He taught me so much about the Most High. Girls become problematic because we failed to realize that the womb is supposed to be holy. And if I knew a lot more then, it's one thing for your parents to talk to you about sex and the wages of sin are death and fornication. It's another thing for you to literally sit down and you talk to your children about the not the hell and brimstone and all of that spookism, but to sit down and talk to your children and say, daughter, I want you to understand that when you give a man your body and he ain't earn it, you are thinking low of yourself. Even the whores in the Bible got paid, baby. Our men had to work for the hand of the woman if he could not afford it. 7 years. So I'm sorry, I'm not a girl that believe in letting a man live up on you, move into your house. But I'm also not the girl that think that it's feminine for a woman to buy a house, even if she can't afford it, yet wants to be a wife, unless that man can come in and buy y'all another home. But no masculine man is moving in with a woman. When you tell women this, they'll call you a hater. I'm not that girl. If it was stupid when I allowed it, and I said that it was stupid, and I was like, I'm doing something that I said that I would never do, then it's stupid when you doing it too. When we begin to look at the womb, it was present at creation, because the spirit of the Most High is wisdom and understanding. And the book of Proverbs begins to say that wisdom is understanding. Benai is Bet, the B. And that is the first letter of create, bara. And then you also have it there again in Dabar, the word. So understanding was there in the beginning. When you begin to look at Rome, it is Rekam. And when you begin to look at the word, it is Rekim. So the womb of the woman is the friend of the Most High. And when we begin to look at the water that the spirit of the Most High, which is wisdom, begin to hover over, this was understanding. This was the womb of creation, that embryonic fluid. But when black women begin to correct black women and giving them the actuality of our position, we get called pick me. I'm not trying to be a girl's girl. A girl done got me an arrest record. A girl's girl done got me beating up people and putting people in a hospital and standing side by side with four corner hustlers and vice lords and Latin kings fighting people because you want to run off at the mouth and you know you ain't like that. Being a girl's girl then got me sexually coerced, then got me assaulted because you didn't set me up. Like being a girl's girl is being out for self. So when we begin to look at Hava, and before her, it said that it is not good for a man to be alone. So when the man was alone, there was no good. Yet when a man finds a wife, he finds a good thing. So marriage elevates a man to good, whereas the woman was created so that man could become good. If we knew our power as black women, and if we knew our position as black women, the men would have no choice but to fall in alignment or to continue in their sodomite rituals, which a lot of them do anyway. That we clearly enjoy. Kids 7 years apart. I'm number one for both of them. If you knew here, child of my virginity, 7 years later, child of my Hebraic marital home, engaged, a month away from being married. Still outside of the will. When we begin to look in the book of Sirach, we begin to see that single mothers and fatherless children were to be taken care of by the men in the community. So I'm not the type of woman, and this ain't no slight. This is just the reality. This conversation has been held in my household, and it just is what it is. Unfortunately, so the men that I have dated financially, let me take a sip of water. Financially, emotionally, have shown up more than ones that seated. This is due to the fact that in being a girl's girl and refusing to be a girl's girl, I didn't stay in toxic relationships or long-term relationships with the man that I gave my virginity to or the man that I was going to marry in lieu of keeping my family, I'm doing quotations, together. No, that's selfishness. And that would have been stupidity because that's not my bag anyway. It would have been selfishness because, my God, who wouldn't want to be in love and married to and with the first man that you ever been with? Somebody who, like, that was your best friend. Who wouldn't want that? And I know women who can't leave men away, and that's your 150th body. Why can't you leave him alone? You've been juicing since 14. Why can't you leave him alone? Because y'all got a kid together? And look at how many you've either killed or swallowed. You can't leave him alone because you're such a girl's girl that you're willing to kill your black family dynamic by allowing this man to bastardize the sanctity of what family is. So I never got to choose me in those areas. Who wouldn't want to push it and move it and marry the man that begged you, pleaded with you to have his baby? Y'all grew up in church with each other. Both of y'all parents were married over 30 years. Both of them pastors. Like, baby, what? I'm at the mansion every week, swimming in the pool, like riding around in a Porsche. I even the worst dudes that I have been with, I can't talk about this with women because they look at it as competition and they wear their long-term relationships as badges of honor. I will never let a man or a woman shame me for being single when I know that it's been a choice to get into therapy after losing my mother, a choice to get into therapy to trace all of the trauma that I've been through ever since I was a little girl, a choice to heal me, to get my home together, to help heal my children and the trauma that they have faced from their own individual lives and from witnessing, seeing me traumatized. And there, my focus is on my home and on the Most High. I have women around me, figuratively and literally, that are so desperate for me to be with someone. And in retrospect, I realize it's the perks that they gain outside because of my accessibility to rich men, because of my accessibility to certain things free of cost. And the reason I say this is because when I'm single, the men know, ain't nobody cracking Sierra. So if they get a phone call, if they get a text message, you'd be like, whoa. Oh, so when they do see me, they're taking me out on dates. They sending me money. They're asking me about my business plans. They're doing certain things. It's because I'm not out here being a girl's girl. They don't sit back and hear me gossip to them and pillow talk and share my friends' business with them. That's what girls do. Girls allow themselves to let men, I said this, move in on them. Even if the man is paying the bill, he's still using you. Because why is he in your house? Where was he living at before then? Send him back home to his mama. Is his credit good enough to go get his own apartment? If so, then he needs to get up out your stuff. They've tricked themselves into helping take care of these men and funding their businesses and funding their lifestyles and all of these other things. And this is out of desperation. And Black women would rather be in these lackluster relationships than to realize you are out of alignment. You nasty. Your attitude bad. You always cussing. You always yelling. You always gossiping. You're an evil person. You don't know any Bible. You don't know any Black history. Just because your kids get good grades, if they do. Just because your home is clean, if it is. Just because you have all of these material makeup, we are soul. If you are not feeding the soul of your children and the spirituality and combating the toxic traits on the inside of them because of you and because of their father, you are not doing what you are supposed to do as a woman. If you are allowing a man to live in your house versus build your house, you're in a homosexual relationship. If you are a woman that's funding the upkeep, lifestyle, fidelity fiduciary responsibility of a man, you are in a homosexual relationship. You are not a feminine woman. If you have never been celibate, I know women who have never been celibate, or the longest they've been celibate is 9 months. And I do want to say celibacy is a Roman pagan construct in certain fractions. I don't believe in juicing for money. I choose a struggle. If I end up having to have one, say if it's a season when I get fired from a job or I'm sick in my body, there are multiple men that I can call who will move me to another country, move me down south, take care of my children, and I'll be good. Spiritually, I cannot do it because it does not align. Therefore, I etch myself out because I don't want to be a girl's girl. Because I've seen who I've been and I didn't like her. And the crazy part is, even she was better than the average. So for me, anything that I speak out against, I always talk to self first. And I'm going to close it out by saying this. When we begin to view Eve, and it says helper, this word is not what y'all think. This does not mean subordinate to. This does not mean that. It means a deliverer, a rescuer. If you were a wise woman and you have enough money to buy your house and you can do all of this and all of that, right? Yet you are attempting to be, can you wash that out and give me? Okay, it's over there. But I think that's grandma's. And you are attempting to become submissive. You will begin to say, you know what? I could get this rehabable house and live in it. Or I could go pay rent somewhere and be saving up my money because I want to get married. And the type of man that I know that I want to marry, he's not going to move in on me. So let me word it this way. Let me position myself to say, it'll be cheaper for me to get this house. And I'll never mention owning a home in the courtship because my money is to be a deliverer in the time of rescue. My home and the field is to be a deliverer in the time of rescue. So even if I'm a homeowner as a woman, I'm not telling that man that. He's not even supposed to know where you live at and where you rest your head. Why is he coming in your house? Why? Self-correction. If he ain't fixing it up, painting it, laying the carpet, fixing doors, replacing windows, throwing out old furniture, buying refrigerators, paying for beauty pageants and doing certain things, like, what? And even if he is, like, what? Then you word it and say, oh, just to let you know, when you get this ring on your finger, or, when you get engaged, and y'all start going house hunting and woo, 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 then you can let them know. Okay, this the house I like. Oh, I have one, and we can rent that out to tenants. This is what I bring to the table. And we'll let the tenants pay that mortgage out. And there you go. That's after he puts the ring on your finger. And guess what? It's still yours. Still your coin. The book of Proverbs begins to say that a wife looks for a field and she acquires it. Your money is for help. Your money is to acquire fields to bring in residual income to assist in to actually start in creating the generational wealth because he's providing for the day to day. If you providing the home and if you providing all of these other things from the day to day, how are you going to righteously plant your seed? But what do I know? I'm not a girl's girl. So y'all can have it. I'm going to just keep on working on me. Y'all can stay out of position. Y'all can keep on sleeping with men that y'all know have sexually assaulted other women. Y'all can keep on listening to music of men that y'all know be beating their wives and having multiple babies by the women and not marry them. Y'all can keep championing men that sleep with 20-year-old girls and all of these other things. I don't want no parts in none of it. Y'all could keep on gossiping, bickering, backbiting, and trying to push y'all friends into relationships when y'all know that she needs to keep her legs closed, stop being so masculine, get some degrees, open up her Bible, and stop acting like a man so that she can stop attracting these down low men. Because I'm going to tell y'all this. I'm one of the only women that I know who will admit, no, I definitely have been with. And you know what? I'm going to say this. I don't even believe that the men that I believe could be classified as down low were down low. Not with me. Men openly confess in very clear ways, in very clear behaviors when they are comfortable with a woman. But some things just cannot be denied. And 2 out of 3 of these men, I have let them know, like, this is what I feel. No accusation. That's how you get killed. Know this, know that, because. But there are women who out here who fail to realize that you can be with a down low dude who ain't never slept with another dude based off of his behaviors. And that's what you call a BAN word. I don't allow men to operate in certain energy around me, and men don't do it with me. I'm the woman, me. Because I'm not a girl's girl, I have had women come up to me and ask me or tell me, my boyfriend told me that I need to act more like you. Because we'll be in relationship settings where these women are being loud, they cussing, they arguing, they doing this, they doing that. And I'm just sitting back. I ain't got nothing to say. I'll even be like, babe, is it okay if I say something? And then the entire room be quiet. Why? Because as a woman, I know when to speak. But since I'm not a girl's girl, I'll be called to pick me. This is Jacoya.